Welcome to Talking in Common, a podcast of all things lifestyle, family, relationships, well-being, kids and culture. This is not a how-to, but an insight into the lives of ourselves and others and how we all manage to get by. Hosted by myself, Kate and my co-host Sophie Panton. Take a listen and let's find out what we all have in common.
Here we are.
Back!
How are you today, my dear? Another day with a basketball in your belly?
Another day with I think it's a bit bigger than a basketball now.
Yeah, it's huge.
I feel like it could just pop out of me at any moment. Wouldn't that be great if it just pops out?
Don't know, would it?
So I've decided I'm going to breathe the baby out. I'm not going to push it out. I'm going to breathe it out, okay?
Okay, that's very zen of you. But no, that's what they say.
I know.
Like that really aggressive pushing
so bad.
Could split you open.
I've totally done really aggressive pushing before. I
Have
went to bed thinking
someone
about
to
that.
remind you that?
All nice and calm. I was thinking about different breathing exercises. Didn't do my usual scrolling or watching like trashy TV. Do you think I slept better? No.
Isn't that frustrating?
Woke up thinking about breathing out the baby at 1:44 a.m.
Yeah. It's very frustrating when you do all the right things before your bedtime, like do a really good, healthy, wholesome bedtime routine, and then you still don't sleep well. It's like, what's the point?
Very frustrating. Anyway, how are you?
I'm good. Like this is a good time to be recording because like I'm feeling good. I'm in a good mood, and like I feel really frazzled lately. I think, again, for a bit of context for everyone, we're pre-recording a couple of episodes. So, yes, currently Kate's still pregnant, but when we release this, she probably would have had the baby a month or
probably. I
two
better
ago.
have had the baby by then.
Yeah.
She's very overdue.
So if some of what we talk about the timeline seems a little bit out, that's why we're trying to get organised. But yeah, I've got a new routine because I moved recently and I have the kids at home with me a lot more. Honey's gone from doing like 3 days of childcare and kinder to just doing sessional community kinder. So she does 2.5 hours twice a week, which is just more inconvenient than anything else
at all.
And Ren has daytime sleep, so I've like got to wake him up and take him with me. Anyway, whatever. I'm trying to settle her in. She's loving it. I found a great kinder, and it's just more for her and more to get her in the routine. And like I'm so disorganized, I just didn't have her signed up to enough kinders to get sorted before we got here. So I'm just like at home in the house with the kids a lot.
24/7 basically?
Yeah, 24/7. And look, I love some of the chaotic moments. I love being with my babies. Like I truly love it, and I feel like so grateful and privileged that I can stay home with them.
Yeah.
But fuck, they push your buttons. Like, oh my God, it's just really hard some days.
It's actually incredibly stressful being at home with kids that often.
Yeah. Actually, you sent me like a reel or something recently about the cortisol levels, like the cortisol levels that a mother experiences, the stress levels are like higher than, I don't know, what was that reel? Something about that, but something about how stressful, being the parent at home with kids is.
Yeah. It's very, very consuming. Your buttons get pushed a lot, and it's like it's really hard work. And as you said, like as much as there's the most incredible, beautiful, special, precious moments you'll never get back, it's bloody hard work.
Yeah, it's just hard. It just is. And I don't want to have to back it up by saying like I'm not complaining, because I know a lot of our audience will be with me on this. They'll be like, I know, it's hard.
And you can say it. It's okay to be honest about it.
Yeah.
Forget about this like cancel culture, you can't say this because
you'll sound ungrateful. You'll sound it. Yeah. The reality is like, yes, I do love it, but some days I've yelled at my little children and I feel awful about that, but they push you to a point where you can't control it. Like I know there's been this like mum rage talk going around a bit, and honestly I've like kind of been on board. Like, yeah, I get it. I get really stressed and you get a bit frustrated, but like I fully yelled one day and it frightened me. I was like, where did that come from? That was actually really out of my normal character. Like,
Kind of just takes over, I think.
it just takes over you. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Like, I can feel it boiling inside me some days.
I think it's okay, and I think it's totally normal. And then you just kind of say to them, "I'm really sorry that mummy," or you don't even have to actually apologize. You know what? We just shouldn't have to apologize to show our emotions, but maybe talk to them about it afterwards. Ren would have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I suppose it's good for them to see all different emotions. But yeah, mum rage can be pretty next level.
Yeah, it's full on.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I've definitely been there a few hundred times.
Yeah, a few hundred. Okay, good. That makes me feel better.
It makes you feel any better.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm having a good day today. And I think because I slept well last night.
Oh,
sorry,
good.
I know you're not sleeping well at the moment,
that's okay.
but yeah,
You've
I slept
not
well.
slept for like the last year.
Yeah,
So.
yeah,
You deserve some sleep.
yeah. So yeah, happy to be doing this. Happy to be looking at your pretty face, my doll.
Well,
What have we got in common?
I was thinking, you recently got something back.
Have you got your period? Were you in sync? Oh, you're pregnant, babe.
Period,
oh my God,
I'm pregnant.
Oh, lol, you're
Sorry, I'm
pregnant.
just sharing with everyone that you got your period back. Hooray! But no, I was just thinking about hormones and mood swings and like how have you been feeling since it came back? The only reason I'm going to say we have that in common is because when you told me that the other day, I've been such a moody biatch, like so moody these last few days.
Yeah.
So
the hormones is what we've got in
are
common.
running hot.
Yeah, yeah. I've got the cycle hormones. You've got the preggy hormones. I can't believe I just asked you if you had your period.
Actually, that's
question.
interesting. When did you get your period back? Like how long ago?
Yeah, so I got it like exactly the same time that I got it back the last time. So almost 1 year to the date.
Yep.
I got it back with honey and the same time this time. So I consider myself lucky not getting it back for that long.
But have you found the mum rage like worse the week that you've had your period?
I don't know. I've only been through one cycle. I've only had it once. Good. So
hard to tell.
I don't know yet. And we were all really sick that week with gastro.
Oh, God. Was it the week you had gastro?
Yeah. It really took me back to, I don't know if anyone listening has
going
also.
on down there, babe.
Yeah. I don't know if
Literally.
anyone has also listened to my birth story, but remember the gastro after the childbirth sitch? And now I had my first period while having gastro. So maybe I'm just forever jinxed. But it was
a lot.
Messy to say the least. But that was like, I can care for myself. I'm a grown up, like that's okay. But looking after 2 kids with gastro, when you feel sick in your stomach yourself, it's actually so rotten. It's just disgusting,
Well,
anyway, I'm not going into the details of that.
I know we don't really want to talk about gastro, do we? But when I had it recently, when I was about 30 weeks pregnant, so a couple of months ago, I literally could not move. Like, obviously, I had to move to get up to go and vomit every 2 seconds and shit. Everything. Like, everything was happening. And not to mention my bloody pelvic floor not being, in the strongest condition at 30 weeks pregnant with your 3rd baby.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I physically would not have been able to look after anybody. I could barely look after myself. So,
yeah. Yeah, it's nasty. Yeah. But anyway, yes, I got my period back. Woo! Yeah. And
you know what that means?
I know. That's the only thing that waiting for a year holds you back from baby making.
Oh my God, are you ready to baby make?
Well, I was a little bit excited.
Are you pregnant?
I got my period.
Oh, no, you just got your period.
I just got my period. I was a little bit excited when I got my period.
Oh my God.
Because I thought, well, at least now I know that that's
time.
a possibility.
I think it's the universe. Oh my God, we missed, we're so close to having babies together.
I know. We're just like tag team.
We're just tag team for
babies. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
It's just kind of annoying because it would have been better to be pregnant and sober together rather than I came out of the pregnancy and I was like, woo, let's party. And you were like, I'm pregnant.
Yeah,
and then vice versa for about.
No, I'm not drinking. I'm
being
all healthy.
Yeah.
But But how's me getting all healthy?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I've got that healthy, really.
How's your pizza for lunch? No, kidding.
I'm going to probably have pizza for dinner tonight, I think. So thank you for that. That's a really good idea. Yeah, well, it's funny, actually. So talking about baby making, because we have spoken about this a little bit. I'm just totally sharing for you, babe. So you can stop me at any moment. But
Oh, God, what are you going to tell?
I found, anyway, making that decision to have a third baby, because I asked me a couple of years ago and I was like, no way. I'm having 2 babies. We're done. That's it. Shopping's closed. And then I had this like complete 360 and all of a sudden really wanted to have a third baby. You've never been like, I only want 2 babies anyway.
No, my shop's never been closed.
Your shop's never been closed. It's very open. But no, but you have sort of been saying that you don't know which way to go.
Yeah.
And that's tricky. Well, it's a hard decision to make, I think.
Yes, it is. It's one of the hardest decisions that women, even men, couples, have to make in their lives. I mean, particularly, women of age, baby making age. I totally respect the women that decide just not to at all, because even though they might feel so strongly about not having children at all, there's something like very natural and maternal just innately in us that gives us certain feelings and instincts. So I do really respect the women that just make a choice like, no, this is a lifestyle choice. I'm not maternal. That's not what I want, blah, blah, blah. Because like you said, there's this weird female maternal inkling that comes back.
It's so physical, isn't it? Like, it's so physical, that feeling like that urge.
But look, I'll be completely honest. Yes, I would love to have another child. But in saying that, I don't want to do it just because my ovaries tell me that I want to. I want to only if my partner and my children also want it, because I feel like if you only follow your own personal instincts, it's probably the same with anything in life, and the other person's not on board with you fully, then
that's tricky.
Someone's going to resent it, or there's always going to be an open door for blaming, or, and also there's just all the considerations, it puts a lot of pressure on your relationship. It takes me out of working for longer, which puts financial stress on my partner. All of the considerations are valid in making a decision. So as much as I would love to just follow my instincts, there's a lot of other factors and considerations in it. So we'll see. Don't know.
See what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Might be pregnant by the time this episode's released.
Hopefully.
He's hoping. No, I know. Yeah,
my baby doesn't listen to this one.
It is a really big decision. And as you said, like, factoring in your family, your partner, your kids, and like, pregnancy is bloody hard work.
I don't want to be pregnant again.
Oh, yeah, pregnancy is full on. But every pregnancy is different, I have to say. But it is hard work. And, like, I just even finding now, like, I'm just so exhausted that I just don't have the energy to do a lot of the normal things that I do. And that's like, that can be hard for young kids to understand that as well.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's true. Yeah, do you feel sometimes a bit like you're missing out on, if you're just too tired or too sore or too emotional or whatever to partake in your normal family activities? Are you feeling like you're missing out?
I don't feel like I'm missing out so much, but sometimes I just wish I had more energy to actually want to do more. But only I don't have long to go. So I did get up the other day and went, and Lulu, our youngest, goes, oh, is it your pelvis, mummy? I was like, clearly I've mentioned a lot that my pelvis is sore because my 4-year-old is talking about my pelvis. But anyway, we'll see.
Anyway.
More on this at a later date.
Yeah. So we thought that we don't have a specific topic or theme to talk about in this episode today. We just thought, like, it's been a while since we just have had a good old yarn about what we've been up to. And, we have a lot more listeners now and some audience members that maybe just don't know that much about us. So we just thought, like, why not just have a good old chat, catch up, and also give a little recap on our wellbeing mini-series Being that we released recently, because it was a totally new experience for us. It's something that was a really amazing, exciting opportunity, something very out of my personal comfort zone. So I'm very proud of doing something that felt quite uncomfortable and out of my comfort zone.
You couldn't tell. You totally nailed it.
Oh, thanks, babe. What do they say? Fake it till you make it.
A few rashes later and you were right.
Yeah, this is what I needed to wear while
Sorry,
we were
when
filming.
I say rashes, Soph tends to get a bit of a nervous rash sometimes.
You've told everyone numerous times.
I get a few rashes later.
You.
I don't want people to think you get not that it matters. If you get, but I just mean a nervous rash on your neck, or sometimes when you have a few drinks, you get a red rash. But
thank you, babe. Thank you for pointing that out again.
It was very out of your comfort zone, so well done.
Thank you.
And I think, it was a very different experience for us, in particular with this project, Talking in Common. But something that, we actually spoke about doing something like this. I think you mentioned a couple of years ago, we said, imagine if in this amount of time we're doing this, we're filming a little series, and we actually brought it to life. So
yeah, go us. Let's do a virtual high five.
There was a few other little things I think that were on our kind of, wish list, and I think we've achieved a couple of them this year. So
we've achieved a lot of them.
Feeling.
Yeah, our humble little podcast project is very fulfilling in lots of ways. So yeah, we're grateful for all you guys tuning in, and the wonderful people from amazing businesses and brands that we've connected with that support us to do this now. For the mini-series in particular, Swiss was so on board with helping us bring this to life, and we're really proud that our every episode, and particularly this mini-series, is completely Auslan translated. And it was so special to have our translators in person, in studio with us.
So much better.
Being a part of
that.
it. Yeah. So that was a real highlight for me personally.
Nay and Kelly, if you're listening to this episode, it was so lovely to have you there with us.
Yeah, we loved it.
And obviously, we had some great guests. I mean, I learnt so much from these conversations. And I think for me, maybe one of the biggest takeaways that I had, and these are all things that maybe subconsciously we kind of know, but it's good to have reminders, was that it's all about connection with people.
Yeah. I think
how important actual physical connection, and consistency within that connection, within your relationships with people, not just your relationship with your partner, but your relationship with your friends and with your family, and actually, supporting people but being there consistently, I think is just.
Yeah, it was interesting, wasn't it? Because we spoke to 3 different guests, and the overall theme of it was well-being, and in particular, mental health. We put a survey out, more targeted at our deaf and hard of hearing audience, because being an Auslan translated podcast, we wanted to create something really accessible for them in particular, but of course, for everyone in general. So that was our sort of theme focus. So we spoke to Josh about social well-being.
Yeah.
We spoke to Katie about physical education.
Yeah.
And
the connection between
physical well-being, physical health and well-being.
And then we spoke between mind and body and being active, and how much of a positive impact that really does have on your mental health.
Yeah. I loved learning all about that. And then Yana about community and connection, and the theme between all of those very different conversations was, all around sort of connection and accountability. Because it's one thing to have a friendship or have a connection with someone, but, showing up and then following up, I think, is so meaningful with relationships. So, it was interesting that became a common theme or common thread. But what was it about well-being that you personally wanted to explore, or because obviously we put the survey out and we found that that's what our community wanted, but also we have a real invested interest in well-being as well. So what was it for you?
I mean, I think what makes up, someone's well-being, it's a very individual thing. There's often a lot of common factors that kind of contribute to someone having an overall great sense of well-being. But I think like with this project, I really kind of wanted to explore and learn how to, I guess, understand myself better, understand the things that really make me feel good, really make me sort of thrive. Learning, I guess, to be, which we talk about a lot more, compassionate to myself, but also to others as well, like seeing things from a different perspective, which our three guests, as much as there was that kind of common thread between them and what we sort of took from the conversations, like it was just great to hear things from another perspective, like three completely different perspectives. And, also kind of exploring that thing of not being afraid to kind of sit with uncomfortable emotions and feelings.
Yes,
because
love that.
Like that's how we evolve and grow through things, and not striving to be like, not striving for perfection, just a bit of a balanced state of mind. So I think I did gain quite a lot from doing this.
Yeah, me too. It's so interesting. I just find people so fascinating, and I love learning from others as well. But I totally agree with you on, not sort of striving for perfection. And in fact, like I've learned that even just striving for happiness is not realistic, and that contentment is more what I'm looking for long term these days. There's so many highs and lows that life throws at you, and happiness looks like joy and positive thinking and even laughter, which isn't just like a long-term consistent state of being. Whereas
it's not
contentment,
realistic, is it, to be one thing all the time?
You can't be like that all the time. Like life wouldn't allow it. So contentment's more long-lasting, and it's more peaceful, and it's more about gratitude and satisfaction, and they're the things that, I'm driven to being more comfortable, and that's where I want to be, more than just happy all the time. So
that contentment, being content,
yeah. And that's kind of where a little bit of where the name of being evolved from, like, not always being well. It's not always about well-being, but it's just about being
in the moment.
Being in the moment, yeah.
Trying
and plus,
to
because
be
it's
more
the
mindful,
one,
be in the moment, not always wanting more.
Just be, just be content.
Yeah.
But it's also
sorry, if anyone who's listening has watched our videos, you will know that at the start, or at the end of the end of the intro at the start, we say welcome to being.
But also because it's the one word that you find really difficult to spell, and I just find it such a lol every time.
It's BEING, the spelling of the mini-series. Thank you. Yes, sometimes I confuse my BEENs with my BEINGs. I'm going to blame pregnancy, but I was clearly marking it up well before I was pregnant.
Oh, it's just so funny. Like, I'm not saying that you can't spell, but it's like the one word that you always mix up. So then when we kind of came up with that name for the series, I was like, oh, this is going to be hilarious because Kate's going to spell it wrong every time.
I have not spelled it wrong, but yes, I do always fuck it up. So funny.
Anyway, if you guys haven't watched the video miniseries, there's also the full episodes as audio episodes as well, but go and check it out. The guests were amazing. Kate and I were amazing. No, the guests in particular are amazing. And it was
I think
I must say it was very highly produced, I must say.
It was very highly produced. No, all three of them though, like Josh, Katie and Yana, they're all making a really positive contribution to society, and that's, so important. And, we chose these three people because we were really interested in all the work that they do, and we just wanted to learn more about them, and we wanted, you guys to be able to
access them
and hear more from them. So they were all great. So thank you so much, guys, for doing it.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
If you're listening. We loved it. If you're listening. So now just back to us for a minute, hey?
Okay, yeah.
I just was thinking about that hilarious story that you were telling me last night about your new hobby. Can you tell us about your new hobby, babe?
Oh my God, this makes me like, is this where my life is at? Like, okay. I don't have a new hobby, although I always feel like I need new hobbies. Like my husband has a lot of hobbies. He's probably gonna be like,
He's a
"No, I don't.
hobaholic.
Hobaholic." Okay. So the other day I was in this I guess a real nesting mode, and I was like trying to prep all these things for the week. I know a lot of people just do that on Sundays anyway, but it was like next level. I'd got all these new containers out, and I was like chopping up fruit and vegetables and having everything all sorted, and I was stocking my pantry, and I was like baking, and I was
super mum.
I don't know, just cleaning around the house. I also had a pinched nerve, so I should have just been lying down at 37 weeks pregnant. But no, I was just in this mode. I could not stop. And my 7-year-old came over to me and she's like, "So, Mum, got a new hobby, do we?" Cool. Yeah, I saw you doing this last week too. You really liked to, chop the fruit and veggies and pop them in the fridge. She's like, "Pretty cool. Yeah, new hobby." Okay, thanks, Nina. Actually, well, I don't know if I would call chopping up, organising fruit and vegetables and snacks in containers for the week a hobby, but she must think I'm really cool.
Cool. Oh, my God. And just the tude that came with it.
I'm not even exaggerating. That's kind of how she said it. She was just trying to make cool conversation. She was just like, "Yeah, Mum. Yeah, cool. Yeah." Yeah,
oh
awesome.
my God. I'm loving all the stories from her age now and how you were saying how she likes to do her hair. It's really taking me back to me at that age. What are the things that you're finding that make you feel like, oh my God, I was like that at that age? Or the hair strips.
Oh, her hair.
We used to call them.
She had two
and we used to call them slut rags.
Hey, excuse me.
I know, I don't want to say that because she's so young, but remember we did? It's an awful saying.
Those little
the chokers.
Chokers. No, but she is into all the girls are into having those two kind of really thin bits of hair at the front and her hairstyles, and she likes to do her hair herself. But it's kind of it's really interesting. I'm really enjoying this age with her. At the moment, we've been having a really good couple of weeks, but she's kind of at that thing where I still get glimpses of she's still my little baby, but at the same time she's growing up so quick. When I take her to school now, she's a bit I'm like, do you want me to walk you in, do this? Cuddles, and she's a bit more yeah. She's very Nina's very gentle, so she's still yeah, if you want, but clearly she doesn't want me to be hugging her and kissing her. But at home, she's so affectionate, but she's also at that age where we can have some really great conversations, and then comes with it the flip side of you're dealing with different challenges and different emotions, and so kind of every age is a different stage with different things to learn. And she's my firstborn, so we learn everything. We learn so much through her, through your firstborn. I think a lot of firsts. I was actually saying to Mackie earlier, I was just like, it's just so good at the moment. I'm really loving the connection. Let's go with that word that I'm having with Nina. I feel like she's in a really good stage. So loving that.
Yeah. How does she listen to so I remember around 7 I was obsessed with making up dances with my friends.
Yeah, she's all about that.
So how do they and I remember sitting with the tape recorder and waiting for my favorite Spice Girl song to come on so you could record it, so then you could replay it on your tape. You remember doing that?
Oh yeah, she's so into doing dances.
How do kids listen to music? Obviously Spotify, but
so we actually she does have some Spotify and stuff we've put on her iPad, which she's actually not allowed her iPad all the time. But,
okay.
But when she does have it, she's literally half the time when we let them have it, she'll be walking around with the headphones on listening to music. She loves it.
Yeah.
But she came home the other day and her bestie have done this full dance to Miley Cyrus Flowers, and they went to ask the teacher if they're allowed to perform an assembly.
No way. Oh my God.
Brave.
That's so brave.
Good on you.
Yeah,
So
go
apparently they're
girls.
going to be doing that soon. So she's pretty excited about that.
Oh my God. I remember doing the first like school dance performance, and it was at a reasonably new school. It was when I moved from the country to the city, and I got together with a group. It was actually mixed girls and boys, and we did a performance to Barbie Girl on stage at like the school
Song's
fair.
actually so inappropriate if you listen to the lyrics.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So I'm with you, Mins. I'm totally, up for the dance performance.
And she has also come home and asked me about like, can we do like TikTok dances? I'm like, number one, I don't have TikTok. Number two, there is absolutely no way I am letting you on TikTok.
Yeah. The TikTok dances are actually so hard to learn too. I remember during lockdown.
You try and learn a few?
Well, Aiden loves a dance and he's quite good. So I was like, we could actually do this and it could be really fun. But we tried to do one and it took us like half an hour just to learn the first two moves. And then we're like, no, we don't have time for this. Too hard, basket.
The new TikTok sensations, Sophie and Aiden.
Stop it. There's actually the best gosh, what do you call them? They're like two parents and I think they're both dance coaches.
Yeah.
And I think I must follow them on Instagram or something because I don't really use TikTok either. But they do these dances and they've always got like the kids in the front or the back, but they're like unbelievable kind of hip hop dancers and they do the best routines. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Like goals.
We actually did a family dance. So it was during lockdown. It was when Nina was in prep. And it was like an activity thing they asked you to do. And I kind of thought, oh my God, we've got to do this. And I was really like, got to get it done, thinking it wasn't like a compulsory task, but I kind of thought like you had to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how many other people did it, but the prep teacher literally told me it was the highlight of her year. She's like, it has been so good. We did this full dance to Uptown Funk. I'll have to find it. And I don't know if I'm going to share it, but I will send it to you, Soph. And
I remember it. You put the disco lights on and everything.
I think like Mackie and I both had like 4 shots of tequila before doing it. And it was actually
no wonder you're all so into it.
Anyway.
Oh, so fun. So good.
So fun. So fun.
Anything else?
Look, I think I need to just go and put my legs up, to be honest.
Yeah.
Actually, I need to practice
you probably need
squatting.
to
I
pee.
need to get this baby to turn. Not turn. I mean posterior. Do a bit of a flip.
Okay.
I don't need him to turn.
Okay. All right.
So you need to
do a bit of those upside down movements.
Inversions.
Inversions. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Go, girl.
Get it moving.
You do it.
Really need to wee.
Yeah.
I
now have honey with us.
I've eaten enough today and my stomach is so full. I'm going to get heartburn in a minute.
Go and get some lollies.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as much as I'm loving this chat, I think we need to wrap it up because
done.
I now have the chat's done.
Over.
I now have my honey girl mascot behind me, and Ren is currently crying, woken up from his nap. So love you, but
keep
bye everyone.
Bay this afternoon, please, babe.
Thank you. I'll try.
No, you look very calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah, no, that's what I said at the start. I was excited to do this today because I was in a good mood.
Maybe it's like a good time of day to actually record. Anyway.
All right.
Enough about
Love
that.
you, girl.
Love you.
Love
Bye.
everyone. Talk soon. Bye.